Hello, this is Myriadness. Well, let me say it this way. This channel is all about discovering your own myriadness. Who you are among the we that is in your body. You might think, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, there's just only me, or nothing, or the all me being just part of, or me not being truly real and only awareness and it all being, something else. Or better to say we as a collective that sees, hears, feels, the expanded self, or better to say selves. Yeah, a different kind of channel than you would think. A channel that in some ways could be called spiritual, but in other ways totally anti-spiritual. Where certain themes that you will witness in Buddhism, well, certain Hindu sects, streams with regards to the afterlife and how things are. Esotericists, I will agree with them, but on other accounts I will disagree with them. How do you know? Simply by observing. And yes, testing different kinds of altered consciousnesses. Or as others would say, gateways to other dimensions. Like astral projection, like mystical experiences, non-dual experiences. Satsang, samsara. What's Zen Buddhist? Nirvana, whatever. Oh yeah. Satori. And there's another concept which I forgot the name of. But yeah. These things I've experienced for myself. Even moments of pure bliss. And at times it even can feel like these very moments are the most special ones that I've ever experienced. Like I've been chosen for this moment right here, right now. Like this is the most important moment of your life, right here, right now. Can't you feel it? Things like that. But from a different perspective, from a limited perspective, a granular, atomic perspective, but one of interconnectedness. Separation by interconnectedness, interconnectedness by separation. None of that non-duality, Advaita Vedanta business here. We believe the world to be in an agnostic, atheistic way, materialistic. As in, well, what we call matter is matter as in the sense that we experience it like that. All of the things that we can move around and touch, etc. Water, air, gases, solids, plasmas. But yeah, then that solid matter, that material, seems to be made out of smaller materials, which then seem to be just local vibrations moving along, interacting with other local vibrations in a huge field. But mind this, that's the explanation, the description of how things are being visualized then. But is it the true structure of what people would call matter, space, time? It's pretty difficult to guess that they get it right this time. Before, everything was fluid, indivisible, continuous. Then slowly but surely atoms and molecules were discovered. And then everything goes on to the whole stuff of quantum mechanics. Electromagnetic waves, matter waves, a whole second quantization step, quantum fields. But the question is that actually the case, or do we have a handy descriptor? It's difficult to know, but yeah, that will come. Yeah, that will be featured as well. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about Nietzsche and actually read some of his works. I haven't read any Nietzsche yet. I know a lot, but through second-hand sources, I should read them. Maybe even some Jung. Carl Gustav Jung. Yeah. But yeah, in the previous period, I would say I've had lots of trip reports, live from the trip, and will resume with that at certain times when I'm really into the mood for doing a trip. Yeah. I'm having a good time here, right now. So, I will not only talk about all of that stuff where I actually try to refute and refute frameworks of thought where, I think it's just not logical enough. It doesn't measure up to the observed evidence and the remembered evidence and the comparisons. This experience is far too limited for that. How can mind not be divisible? Mind can only be divisible. No, it isn't. It is indivisible. There are certain indivisible. What I mean to say is now that, there are certain parts of the mind that are indivisible, the smallest parts of the mind, the smallest parts of whatever you see, feel and hear. in space and time. Neurons in groups firing and being qualia. Qualia wavelets in space and time. What if that is the core unit of consciousness? But then the question is, how can you get one little bit of sensing to recognize itself? It has to be able to recognize itself. It has to be able to recognize itself and also to contact others. It may be even down to the neuronal level itself. Incredible. So, for the record, I've ingested some 45 milligrams of THC about 1.5 hours ago. Oh no. It was 1 hour ago. I didn't think it would be this hefty, but yeah, I'm getting some insights here. And yes, you can trip on weed, especially on edibles. And if you know how to ride the wave, reverse or forward, ride the dragon, become the dragon. Fly as a dragon. It is kind of overwhelming, and all the shimmerings that at times can come, the patterns, all of being as one. We are one. When we are represented by me, this is beautiful. What a banger. It can even go far, far deeper than that. Oh boy. I'll say this. Once you learn how to twin, it's just for fun and to help yourself. And to garner deeper insights. Once you know how to do it, once you break the code, it's easy. It's not just the you that are one with the universe. Oh no. That's steer shite. No. You become one with the other consciousness. Communities. Normally one would say something like, I'm forgetting the word now. Consciousness, like a mind hive. A hive mind, better to say. Mind hive. Yeah. A mind hive full of mind bees. Which are also mind hives with mind bees in them. Well, it's something like that. Our consciousness collective, yeah, that's what people will say, but I think it's more like a consciousness community. Oh. Well, the sound really yeah, sounds do sound warped. And yeah, getting lost in thought loops. Not thought loops, but thought meanderings. And it's not just one thought, but many thoughts with many feelings attached to them, many forms, many sounds, it's ever evolving, never the same, always different, not infinite, but too large to calculate, too large to probe within finite time. So many possibilities. Only several can be probed. Only, still many, but only very few among those many more can be probed. And only some of them can be visited, conjured up, experienced. It's a level 8B, no, 8, I think it's 8A of psychedelic imagery. It's all these forms that are changing into other things that are somehow deeply connected, with new connections. Yeah. So you can expect things like that. And me thinking, that does sound a bit logical. But it's difficult to prove. There's a lot of this that's difficult to prove if you're just on your own. I mean, if I still see the grain and only feel change after change after change, see, feel, hear, it's never the same. Which means I'm never really the same. Which actually figures out from a materialist perspective. But more like a minimalist materialist, more like, yeah, I think there might be bigger factors. Maybe something is really tuning quantum physics somehow, I don't know. Yeah, how do you even reach above mathematics and numbers and constants and relationships between certain variables? but maybe it's incalculable, irrational, and
人々
we
が穏や
cannot
かに暮らし
predict.
万象が一新された今まさに人の世の良き時代と言える
But yeah, that would be what it is. How could you know and accept it, reveal it to yourself? But the only way it can do that is by your faculties, by your sight, hearing, feeling, emotions, pressures, electric sensations, whatever. So how can you ever be sure that you are not communicating with something that is just a different part of the conscious community that you are also part of in that body of yours? How can you know the difference between the real thing and a really well-made duplication
仕掛けの
of
術
that
は実に奥が
or
深く
simulation
興
of
味の
that?
尽きない技術で
How
あり
would you know the
一言
difference?
二言で説明できるようなものではないだが毎
When
回
it
この
comes
話
to
をする
weird
と
presences that you are unfamiliar with, well, you could see it as a part of yourself that you haven't discovered yet. While knowing that you are you and that is that, while you are awake
人々が穏や
to
かに
witness
暮
it
ら
in
し
action.
万象が一新された
But
今
there you are.
まさに人の世の良
Oh,
き
but
時
it
代
must
と
be
言える
God. It must be the cosmos. It must be Brahman. Oh, it's non-dual. It's everything. Oh, it's one. Oh, I've seen God. How do you know for sure it ain't some hidden part of you, utilizing a certain circumstance in order to bamboozle you, because it just wants you to believe that, because it wants a fellow believer. How would you know the difference? Because it would feel so real in both cases. But what if that part that would normally project that, a kind of God, what if it would have contacted you? And knowing your desire to know truth and it being it also wants to know the truth. And then, when certain mystical and or non-dual experiences were experienced, all of us knew what to do in order to decipher this, overcome it, and put me back where I belong. Being blown away by pumping music. Red fractal escapes
仕掛けの術
while
は実に
everything
奥が
was
深く
done
興味の尽きない技術で
normal,
一言二言で説明できるようなものではないだが毎回この話をすると皆が
I
感
was
心
lost
する
and
の
put
はなぜ
back
であろう
again, together again by us. For we are in our body. We've seen too much, we've felt too much, we know too much We know the difference between overwhelming but still limited and something truly infinite, because infinity would not be withstood by the finite. Blacked out, sent to sleep because of blacking out,
暇を持て余しているのな
but
ら
never something
わらわの家に来て
that we could
ここ
not
最近の面白い出来事を
explain
話して
away
くれ
by
るか
what we experienced together. Watermarks, that's what we say this is. It's knowing who we are each and every time. We perceive sensations. That's where it starts and it ends there as well. If I can explain it away like this, if we can explain it away
まさ
like
に
this,
人の世の良き時代
what
だ
are we talking about? Do you want to believe your infinite dreams of being part of the infinite, or fading away into the infinite or the nothing? Once you reach nirvana and breaks the damned samsara. I can explain it all away. I've experienced too much. We've
仕掛け
experienced
の
too
術は
much.
実に奥が深く興味の尽きない技術であり一言二言で説明できるようなものではない
Still being
だが毎回この話をすると
us,
皆が眠そうにするのはなぜであろう
even under more extreme circumstances, and even enjoying it. That's not nothing. That is something. I've just been lucky with what I got. One little gift of us-white stubbornness. For once, I know something, a secret, a dirty little trick. But I don't know whether there are any other people who can do this trick as well.
暇を持て余しているのならわらわの家に来て
Or maybe I'm just
最近
delusional.
の面白い出来事を話してくれぬか
And what if I am? But if I'm delusional, then I wouldn't have any point to make. I wouldn't be able to correctly describe how it feels to have a non-dual experience, like you feel everywhere at once, but still spacious. Like there's still a space that you are part of. That you're connected, but there's still a distance. This electric feeling, this overwhelming, hypnotic,
人
trance-inducing
々が穏やかに
feeling
暮らし万象が一新された今
which really beckons
まさ
to
に人の世の良き時代とい
unite
う
as one. is one. But instead of saying, I am the universe, why don't you just say, we? Why not just say, we? Acknowledge who you really are. The spirit of substance is just this electric, weird feeling, the patterns that one sees. It feels absolutely electrifyingly, blissfully brilliant. And yeah, trust me, this is where it's at with me and tripping up. This. But what if I take too much? Well, you'll have to get your own way of emotionally alchemically transform your anxiety into excitement. Or somewhere else. Maybe anxiety into contentment. I don't know. Maybe anxiety into anger. Oh, I'm scared. Smash, smash. Well, I think I described every fake alpha.
わらわの家に来て、ここ最近の面白い出来事を話してくれない？
Yeah. Whoa, it's a bit too much blood pressure. Oh God. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at this. Because this should be a good enough intro about what this channel is about, yeah? And this was some live streaming of some TC edibles. Have a nice time. See you later. Please subscribe, give it a like, and maybe even comment.